In this video, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is my friend Spencer Johnson. Spencer is 16 years old, and he has a really unique school assignment that he kind of asked me to help him out with. And I really thought it'd be a pretty cool idea to make a different kind of fun video. And what we're going to do basically, we've got a survival scenario. We're going to talk about a list of items that maybe would be available to a survivor of a plane crash, and kind of put those just in a ranking of which ones are the most important. So I think it's going to be interesting. Hopefully it'll be interesting for you. That's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose, your home for information and gear reviews related to camping, survival, and general preparedness for regular folks. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me. This is Spencer. Thanks for joining him too. So basically, Spencer approached me today with a pretty cool challenge, so to speak, that we have and this is for a literature class, right?
Yes, that's right. It's a literature class.
So pretty cool literature teacher, I think. So here's the general kind of scenario we got to deal with. So you're in a plane crash in northern Minnesota in the wintertime in January, and everybody's dead. The pilot, the co-pilot are all dead, so you're with a group of other survivors. The whole plane's destroyed, but they were able to salvage 15 items from the plane crash, right?
Correct.
So what we have to do is determine which of the 15 items are most important. Rank them from 1 to 15. I'll put these on the screen here so you can have a look and make it a little easier to follow along. But basically, if I remember correctly, because this has been kicking around in my head all day long since he sent me this morning. It's 11:30 a.m. in the morning.
Correct.
About. Temperatures during the day are 25 below zero, and at night are 40 below zero. The plane was off course due to a storm, so they didn't have a chance to send out a mayday or anything. So they know there's a small town 80 miles southwest, basically, right?
Right, that's correct.
And that's the closest. So that's where we're at. We're down in Minnesota, lakes and rivers everywhere, the land of 1,000 lakes, I think it is, and we got 15 items. So we're going to rank them, and I'm going to try to tell you exactly, I guess, why I ranked them that way, right?
Right.
Here's a list of items. We have a compress kit with 28 foot of 2-inch gauze, so first aid thing. Ball of steel wool, a cigarette lighter without fluid, a loaded .45 caliber pistol, a newspaper, 1 per person, compass, 2 ski poles, a knife, sectional air map made of plastic, 30 feet of rope, family-sized chocolate bar, 1 per person, flashlight with batteries, a quart of 85 proof whiskey, extra shirt and pants for each person, and a can of shortening. So we got 15 items, and the challenge here, I guess the assignment is to rank these in order of importance. So I'm going to give you my number 1 item. We'll start at the number 1. We'll go all the way down. I guess we could do the old drama and start at the bottom, but we'll start at the top because, cut to the chase. So, and I know you're probably going to think I'm going to say a knife is most important, and I got to say, as much as it pains me to say so, I'm not going to pick a knife as number 1. Because basically, in my opinion, survival means staying alive, right?
Right.
So what is the greatest risk to survival that we're facing right in this situation? What would you think?
The greatest risk?
It's 25 degrees below zero during the day,
right.
and 40 degrees below zero in the evening, at night. So most people who are dying in survival situations die from what they call exposure, which basically is weather. So the biggest thing we got to do is stay warm. And the best way to stay warm is to create a microclimate around your body, and the way to do that is with clothing. So anyway, the very first, and by the way, it also said that we're dressed for cold weather in the city. So we have dress shoes on, like a suit, clothes, and an overcoat, but we're not really bundled up for the Arctic. So I'm going to say the first item is going to be extra shirt and pants for each person. That's just a way. If all else fails, if you can't get a fire going or whatever the case may be, you've got more clothes. You can kind of help stay warm. Along the same lines, the second item is going to be newspaper, 1 per person. Because newspaper can be used for insulation. You can wad it up, take sheets out, wad up, stuff it in your clothing, create more insulation to help your heat. It can also be used to start a fire. If you get a fire going, it can be used to help start a fire. So it's kind of a two-part, a two-useful thing. But again, my primary reason for choosing that is to stay warm, help you stay warm. Oh, I got my prayer partner tag on here. We'll just take that off. So we're sitting in a room at church here. We just finished church. So we got 1 and 2, shirt and pants, and the newspaper. Now the next thing, in my opinion, that's going to be really important is to staying warm is building a fire. So we got a cigarette lighter with no fluid. So we can make a spark, but it's going to be really hard to catch a piece of newspaper with a spark. So I'm going to say the next item is going to be a loaded 45 caliber pistol. Not necessarily because of the pistol itself, although it could come in handy. Mostly because of the ammo. You can pull the lead out of the pistol. You've got gunpowder, which will take a spark from that lighter. So did I say the lighter next? No, I didn't. So it's kind of a toss-up between the pistol and the lighter next. But we'll say the pistol first, because I think maybe if you really had to, you could pull the bullet out of the shell. You could load the round in the barrel. You could kind of hold it up, maybe stick a little bit of newspaper in there, and pull the trigger. And since there's not enough pressure for a bullet to really go out, and maybe it would light the newspaper. At least you'd have a chance. But the next number 4 then is going to be a cigarette lighter without fluid, because I know if you took the gunpowder and a wad of newspaper and a sparkler, you could definitely get a fire going. Pretty sure. So that's 4. So then we're going to get a knife, because I got to have a knife in the top 5. And honestly, knife's going to be really handy for pulling that bullet out. Although you might could do it with your teeth. It's going to be really handy for building fires and for a lot of other things. So now we're at a knife. A lot of people say might have said the steel wool and the flashlight with batteries, but if you've ever tried to start a fire with steel wool and batteries, it really works pretty well with 9-volt batteries, but not so great with most flashlight batteries. So honestly, the next item I'm going to say on there is going to be a compass, because you have a town 80 miles to the southwest.
Right.
That's going to be about 3 days hiking in the cold, probably. 20 miles a day is pretty average. So the compass is going to be really important. The next item I would say after that would probably be the sectional air map made of plastic, because a map, if it's got a map for that area, then that's going to be good to help you navigate, help you kind of get around. You'll see if there's anything in the way or whatever. So we got a map will be next. After that, probably going to go with a flashlight with batteries, because it's going to be good to have a light at night just to help you see what's going on. If you had to walk at night or whatever to stay warm, you could. They got a quart of 85 proof whiskey on here, which is 42.25%, I guess, alcohol. So it's probably not going to be very good for a fire starter. So that's why I didn't choose that, by the way. So we're at the compass, we're at the map, we got the knife. I think after that I would probably pick the 30 feet of rope. It could come in handy to help you if you needed to get down a ravine or something, or if you needed to build a shelter and actually tie stuff together. And then, I'm looking at your list because you got markings on it, so I forget where I'm at. After that, I would probably say the family size chocolate bar one, because that's going to give you some energy, that's going to help you stay warm. So we'll go with the chocolate bar next. After that, we'll go with the, I don't even know what the can of shortening is for. I guess you could eat it if you really needed to generate some calories. Mm-hmm. So, but we'll go with the, at this point in time, it's really, I would probably leave the rest of the stuff at home. But we'll go with the compress kit, because it's good for first aid, and it could be a fire starter also. And it's 28 feet of gauze, so if nothing else, it's a little extra insulation for your feet or something if you're cold. Then we'll go with the, I guess we'll go with a ball of steel wool, because just in case you couldn't get a fire starter or something else, you might be able to do it with a battery. It certainly can't hurt. And I guess at this point in time, a can of shortening. We'll go with shortening. I don't really know what for. I guess you could put it on your face to keep it from getting wind chapped or windburn, or you could eat it if you needed calories. If you really, I don't know, a big spoonful of Crisco does not sound appetizing to me, but so what we have left is 2 ski poles and a quart of 85 proof whiskey. I'm going to go with the ski poles. I think they have more practical value than 85 proof whiskey. So whiskey is going to be the last thing on my list. Although I guess you could trade it with hostile natives. I don't know. There's probably not many in Minnesota. And so the whiskey is going to be the last thing, because I don't think it's going to be really good for enough alcohol in it to burn very well. I might be wrong, but I'm not a whiskey expert. So there we go. So just to recap, my top 5 items, what do I got there? My top 5, number 1 is a shirt and pants, because I believe you need to stay warm. Number 2 is newspaper. Number 3 was a loaded 45 caliber pistol, which is going to give you, if it's loaded, it's going to be at least 6 rounds, I would think. So that's 6 chances to build a fire with the gunpowder in there. Or maybe you can double them up, make 3 chances and help your chances. 4 is a cigarette lighter without fluid. because you got a good sparker there for the gunpowder. And 5 is, a knife. So that's, I guess that's it. So what I would challenge you to do, this I've been telling you, I've been knocking this in my noggin all day long. It's very interesting because my gut reaction is I need a knife. I got to have a knife. You know me, I got to have a knife, right? But I think it's a good exercise, to kind of a what if kind of exercise, because really a knife is not going to do you any good if your hand is frozen to death because you are a stiff, cold corpse. So the main thing you got to think about is the main thing that kills people in survival situations is exposure, hypothermia, or hypothermia. Usually it's cold. Cold kills more people than heat, I think. So there you go. And I'm assuming we'd be able to get some water since there's lakes and rivers everywhere. So, well, that's it. So I challenge you. I'm gonna put this list in the description below so that you can take a look at it. And just if you feel like fooling with it, it'd be pretty interesting to hear what your comments are. And you go ahead and rank it up, put them in the comment section, and we'll compare and see where you think maybe I'm a little screwy or I'm a little messed up. And if you got a really good use for a can of shortening, I'd be kind of interested to hear that too. So anyway, that's just thought I'd do a kind of fun little video. And Spencer, thanks for making me think about this today. It really was pretty interesting.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
So, and thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. We put out a brand new video every Friday and Saturday, very often random videos throughout the week. Check out a new one right here. If you're not subscribed, please click down in the corner and subscribe so you can get notified when I put out those random videos. Anyway, I really appreciate your support. Once again, my name's Brian. You're watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared. Get your Crisco. I'll see you next time.